Hey, gorgeous people. It is We Connect Wednesday. Tell me if you are joining us. I've just got home from going to the gym. I'm in CrossFit at the moment. Anyone else doing something crazy like CrossFit or some weird challenge or something? It's very exciting. I started to notice, and if you have been following me on social media at the moment, I started to notice how generally we all get these amazing things that we really want, and then we go, but such and such. And I noticed I really wanted more health and more vitality and more well-being for myself. And it's so easy for us to spout off all of this information for others. You know, my clients and my family, I'm telling them all the health information. Then me, on the other hand. So I'm back at CrossFit. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Carla. Hey, Tessa. I hope your holiday is going gangbusters, Carla. You deserve it. Your practice in the Mornington Peninsula is extraordinary, and so is your Vade Mosaic. So shout out to Carla Wren, who is listening at the moment. So We Connect Wednesday. This is an amazing conversation that I saw a speech on by Abby Wambach. She's an ex national soccer player, and she's written a book called Wolfpack, and I've been talking about Wolfpack here in the hub for the past 3 years, and she's written this book this year about it, and it's based around some research that came out about this this national parks area that was completely devastated by rabbits and by species that have been brought in, and they had started to decimate just both flora and fauna, because once you're taking away some of the plants, as we all know, we're plant people, as you take away some of the plants and the vegetation, for certain other animals are going to start disappearing, and then others will, the whole chain, the whole ecosystem starts to decline, and things start to fall apart. So what they did was they brought in a pack of wolves, and it was predominantly female wolves, and they were looking after one another. They were kind of howling from one end of the national park to the other about the different pests that they were kind of starting to take over and look after. And once they brought back balance to the wildlife, to the rabbits that had gone crazy, then the vegetation grew back, then certain animals like bears and moose and all these animals that hadn't lived there for a long time came back. And it wasn't just that the wolves were there, feasting on these new animals. They weren't. They had brought back this balance to the whole area, and everything thrived based on this wolf pack, because this pack was out to look after everything. Now, I love that whole idea, and if you haven't checked it out, it is on YouTube, and I think it's a TED Talk. She did it as a speech first out, but now she's got it as a book. I listen to Audible books all the time, so I was listening to it on my way to running the last Bali immersion on the flight over, and I love the idea of a wolf pack, because my secret squirrel little behind the scenes is that I am a massive fan of anything sci-fi, witchy poo, fantasy, werewolf orientated. And in some of my, probably about twice a year, as we all do as humans, I have this really extraordinary cave woman time. I like to call it cave woman time, because some people could call it flat, some people could call it or label it something else. But I have a cave woman time where I binge watch a series on Netflix generally, and it will nearly always be some form of sci-fi. Anyone else a Netflix binge watcher, particularly witchy poo, werewolfy, vampire-y kind of stuff? No, I'm all by myself in that. Okay, cool. So the thing is, a lot of this, awesome, Tess. Great. I'm glad to see I'm not alone. Now, the cool thing about what I find in entertainment, my hubby's a massive movie watcher as well, is that there's always a beautiful moral to the story that I can apply to my life or to my business. And when I watch anything to do with werewolves, this whole pack mentality. Anyone else, watched Twilight series or something like that? I'm a bit of a sucker for the teen romance in these things. And the wolf pack mentality, that we are imprinted on one another, that we connect in a way that makes a lasting change and connects us as a whole, really resonates with me in our profession. And what I've seen to be true over the past 3 years mentoring Pracs, and also my colleagues, people like Carla and some of the other speakers we've had on stage at NatX, is there is a wolf pack mentality when we allow it. And by that, I mean, when one of us howls and shines a light on a situation, all of us are there ready to back that person up, ready to stand for them and to give them more power than they had by themselves. And the same goes for so many people that I have mentored. And there's so many amazing things being created in our profession. There's so many amazing courses, amazing retreats, and the ripple effects of those for these different communities around the globe, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the UK in particular, is the ripple effect is huge for our communities. There's health changing all over the place. There's new babies being born that possibly wouldn't have been able to be born without the help of you guys. And when one of you finally stands up and has the voice enough to howl, it allows others to howl as well. What I love, love, love about this is that we are stronger together. And this is a really cool thing that I've noticed with things like werewolves in particular, or the archetype of the werewolf, is that when we're not doing things all by ourselves, we have a better chance of actually really creating change and really creating powerful change. I've got some more sci-fi peeps here. Awesome. Nina says, binge watching is so disappointing as it's all over so quickly. I do, of course, binge watching is, and that's why I do it probably twice a year. When I get into my little internal, all right, what's going on here, just allow it to happen. And I mean, this is the thing about entrepreneurship. We're all in it all the time. We're always kind of constantly looking for all of the things, plus we're a carer, plus we're a practitioner. And sometimes it's just about bringing it all back in and binge watching a Netflix show. Like Stranger Things, the OA, awesome. Kath and Kim, Margie, I love it. Stranger Things, others are cool. Yeah, and so sometimes we just have to do that. And then it is all over rather quickly, isn't it, Nina? Which is actually a good thing because you can get it out of your system and then it's like a reset and you're back on track. So, what I wanted to connect with you guys about today, and for those of you who are new here, our We Connect Wednesday and our hashtags for the day are available in the description of the group, is that a wolf pack matters, and you can't be a lone wolf. Your survival rates as a lone wolf, shown in nature, is next to... You've got to be the strongest and all of the things. Whereas if you are part of a wolf pack, you've got a way better chance of surviving and you change the entire ecosystem around you. And this is what I found to be true about our profession. When somebody howls and we all howl in support of that person, rather than trying to tear them down, then we have the opportunity for them to shine and then for what we do to shine in our communities, and it will change our ecosystems that we live in. I found this to be true because it happens all the time in the Naturepreneur Club and the Naturepreneur Journey. I found it to be true because we saw it at NatX and the ripple effects that have happened there. And if you haven't had the chance to read Abby's book, Wolfpack, it's very worthwhile. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the Naturepreneur Journey, it's closing in 3 days' time, just in case you missed it. And you get a free ticket to actually be in a real wolf pack at NatX, and you also get a free ticket to come to our Bali immersion if you join the Naturepreneur Journey at the moment. They're bonuses that we haven't ever given before. And for those people who have been to NatX, you completely understand the idea of a wolf pack because you were in it. It feels completely safe. It feels completely collaborative. It feels it feels so good to be backed by your profession and in real life. So just a little heads up today. If you hear somebody howling in our profession and you are there ready to give them a high five, back them up, give them a love heart, give them a like, do that kind of thing. Or if you're ready to join the wolf pack that is the Naturpreneur journey, don't hesitate. Go and check out tammyguest.com/naturpreneur-journey. And we'd love to see you at NatX 2020 or in the Bali immersion and see what you can create. All right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for Training Thursday. Bye.